And 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? I hope you are doing well. Let me just pull my phone up here and make sure that the live stream is actually live streaming and the audio is coming through and all of that good stuff. I see myself. Let me just and I hear it. So there we go. There we go. There we go. What's up, everybody? So good to have you. Let me actually turn these off. We're going to get into this. We're going to get into it. All right. So the topic, as the title says, 3 tips for using email marketing services to build better relationships with your prospects, close more sales. Plus, I'm going to share with you what my opinion is about the future of retail and marketing. So it is Technology Tuesday. So let's get into it. My name is Justin Glover, for those that may not know me. In this Facebook Live, I'm going to be sharing a few things. All right, this is going to benefit you if you think building a successful business on the internet or growing your business from the internet is hard or time consuming. This will benefit you. Also, if you'd like to make more sales of whatever the product or the service or the opportunity that you're selling, if you'd like to make more of those, this will benefit you. And so if you get some value, be sure to let me know in the comments. If you're watching live, give me a hashtag live. If you're catching the replay, hashtag replay. Let me know. If you're watching live, actually, let me know where you're zooming in from. Not zooming. This isn't Zoom. This is a live stream. Anyway, where are you coming from? And we'll get into it. So this will probably be relatively quick. It won't be super long. But I'm going to give you what you need to know, all right? Because I want to share with you a few things. Number one, I want to share with you my aha moment with email marketing. I'm also going to share why you must be using email marketing in your business, and if you're not, why you're probably losing money. I'm going to share with you my personal #1 favorite third-party email marketing service and why I like them so much, and then 3 specific tips on how you can get more out of your emails. In tip number 3, that's where I'm going to reveal where I think the future of all retail and the future of all marketing is headed. All right, so those of you that pay attention to trends and want to kind of tap in now before the masses realize this, this is going to be a good live stream for you. So we like to start all of them with some good news. So let me know what your good news. Before we get into it, drop something positive that's happened to yourself in the last 24 hours, something that's going well in your life right now. Help me fill the comments up with some positivity. My personal good news is I did a really good back and biceps workout this morning, and I really didn't want to, but I did it anyway. And so that's my good news. It always feels really good whenever you don't want to, but you do it anyway. And so shout outs. Let's see who we got here. Kathy is here live from True North. All right. Doug is in the house. What's up, Doug? Glad to have you here, my friend. And so let's get into this because I do got a lot to cover. Let's get into it. All right. 3 tips for using email marketing services to build better relationships with your prospects and also close more sales. All right. So I'll start with a quick story. I remember I was working 100 hours a week. I had 3 different jobs, wanting more, but not really sure. I knew that I had to build a business, but had no idea of how I could do that while I was working 3 jobs and 100 hours a week. Ashley is in the house. What's up, Ashley? Donnie Patrick is here. Hey, hey, glad to have you here, my friend. And so I was working 100 hours a week, 3 jobs, had no idea how I could use the internet to really grow a business. And so I first opted in to my very first email list ever at like 2 a.m. one morning. I was searching for something like how to grow a business on the internet or how to grow my business using the internet or whatever. I don't even remember what I searched for, but I found this page. And it was a young guy. Actually, I remember the guy's name. His name was Jonathan Budd. He's now a good friend of mine. And this was over a decade ago, like 2008 when this happened. But I opted in. It was like 2 a.m. I put my name. I came across a page. I had a video of him saying, "Hey, if you want all this benefit, all this stuff, you want to learn how to build a business on the internet, then give me your email address." And so I plugged in my email address. I hit the button. And immediately he sends me a personalized email. Like my email dings and I open up and says, "Hey Justin, thanks for signing up for my list." And I'm like, "What the hold on. This guy knows my name. He just sent me this email. I had no idea that autoresponders even existed. Email marketing services existed to make it possible to do that. And so I was blown away. But also I was really excited because as soon as I realized that this email was pre-written. He didn't just write this. It's 2 a.m. He did not just write this email. Who knows how long ago he wrote it? And here I was developing, this email was still developing a relationship between me and him automatically. And that's when it kind of clicked for me. The light bulb went off. I continued to read his daily emails. And as I began to know the guy, to like him more, to trust him more, I also took the next step and purchased his product. And in doing that, I realized that email marketing this way, using email marketing services, aka autoresponders is what I call them now, or what they're known as. Robert, good to have you here. Good to see you, man. I realized that that was the actual ticket that I needed to build my business on the internet and have a possible, have the possibility of making sales while I was at work making my $14 an hour or whatever it was, right? And so that was my aha moment. I realized that, holy crap, I can do a lot with these email marketing services. And so I want to just, before I give you the 3 tips, I want to share why you need an email marketing service if you're building an online business. Number 1, it's a low-cost way to automatically build relationships with people. If you want to sell a lot of stuff to a lot of different people, then guess what? Relationships with those different people are required. People don't buy from people that they don't know, like, and trust. And so people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And so email marketing is a great way to actually build those relationships, increase that know, like, and trust factor with a lot of people for a very low price and very, very quickly. And so that's the first reason why. Next is it's a more efficient way to get a message out to a lot of people at the same time without actually jeopardizing that customer relationship. All right, if you do this correctly, then it's a very efficient way. Now, you can still mess this up. I'm going to talk a little bit about that here in one of the tips. But if done correctly, you can use them to sell a whole lot more stuff than you could otherwise sell if you weren't using email autoresponders and email marketing services effectively. And so the tips that I'm going to share with you here in a bit, that's kind of the core of it, how to use, not only what they are, but like how to use them properly. All right. And so most importantly, the reason you want to use these things is because you own it. You own your email list. Nobody can come in and take it away from you. Well, mostly nobody. If you're building an email list and you're, trying to do things that are unethical or illegal, then people can step in and take it from you. But for the most part, nobody can take this away from you. Like they can take your social media content. Your YouTube channel can go away overnight. Your Facebook content can go away overnight. Nobody can ever take your email list away from you and the relationship that you build with those people. And so if you ever quit selling a product, or you move to a different company, or something changes in your life, you don't have to start over from scratch, because if you've built up an email list and you've developed a relationship with those people on that list, you just simply send them an email and say, hey, I'm making a change. Here's the change. If you want to come along with me, come on. And so it's security for a longer term successful business. And so I want to really just explain briefly the different types of email marketing and services out there, because there's a little bit of confusion on them. All right. So there's at the basics, there's a smart and a dumb email autoresponder. Now, that's probably not the technical words, but that's what I call them, right? The dumb email autoresponders are probably the ones that you've seen before, when you send an email to a doctor's office and you get a immediate response that says, hey, sorry, but we're closed for the holiday. We'll reopen on January. If you need help, call this number, whatever, right? That automatic response, that's a dumb email response, right? Now, I'm not saying it's dumb to have that set up, but in terms of autoresponders and automated email messaging, it's not the smart version that I'm talking about. We're talking about a smart version that does a lot more stuff, that can send out a series of emails over a pre-selected time frame. And so that's the difference between smart and dumb. Now, with the smart emails, you got a couple of different main ones. You got self-hosted, where you're controlling everything. You host all of the emails. Those are more expensive. Those are more elaborate. They take more time to set up. I've used them, and they work well if you're doing massive amounts, like hundreds of thousands of people on an email list where you're sending multiple messages out. Self-hosted is probably the way to go. But for most people, the other kind works better, and that's a third-party email service. And so this by far, this is my favorite. This is the one that I use in my business now. And there's lots of third-party autoresponders. There's GetResponse, there's MailChimp, there's aweber, all of them, right? There's lots of them out there. Constant Contact. I've used all of them. I've used multiple ones for many years. The very first one that I ever signed up with was aweber. I still use them today. I've never canceled them. I've canceled all of the other ones in time. And so aweber is by far my favorite one. I've used them all, and you can get a free trial for aweber. You go to trial30, so trial30.aweber.com. You can sign up for free. You get your first month or whatever. So TRIAL and the number 30.aweber.com. That'll take you there, and you can sign up for free. And so enough about the different types. I want to share with you how they actually work. All right. So the way that they work is somebody lands on a page that you put up, and they fill out some sort of a capture mechanism, meaning they see a message that says, hey, I'll give you this thing of value in exchange for your email address. Just type it in the form below and click the submit button. So they come to that page. They make the decision. Yes, I want that value, so I'm going to give you my email address. They put in their email address and hit go. At that point, they are then added to what we call your email list, and they begin receiving your pre-written emails, your sequence. All right, and that sequence is designed to do a few things: to develop the relationship, get them to know you more, like you more, trust you more, buy your stuff. All right, that's what it's designed to do. And so ideally, most of those go out on a daily basis. You want to be in people's inbox on a daily basis. Just as a marketer, there's lots of reasons for that, but that's the gist of it. All right. And so these emails that go out, they're designed, or they need to be designed to create a good experience for your subscriber, and also get them to buy the product in the process. And so these 3 tips that I'm going to share with you, actually I got a bonus tip, but I'm going to share these tips with you, and they will help you set up and create just that, a good experience for your people, and hopefully more sales as a result. And so the 3 tips for using them to create better relationships and make more sales. Tip number 1, the understanding that your email list is not an ATM machine. All right, although it can resemble an ATM machine if you nurture it correctly, it's not. All right, if you do this correctly, you can send an email and immediately make money. If you do it incorrectly, you can send an email and immediately piss a lot of people off because your emails are not appropriate for them. And so remember, you can't go in, pay your mortgage, and say, look, I got this email list of 25,000 people. I'm going to give you this email list to pay my mortgage. It doesn't work that way. You can't use it to pay the bills. You have to establish a relationship with those 25,000 people, or those 10 people, or whatever it is. It's the relationship that you have with those email lists that can turn into money. And so the key is that most people get this wrong. They're not an ATM machine. They're humans. So treat them as such. All right. That's the first big tip. If you treat your people, your subscribers, like an ATM machine, and your only message that they ever see from you is buy my shit, buy my shit, buy my shit, you're gonna lose them. Very few will buy, and very many of them will like be repulsed by you. You'll have the opposite effect. And so treat them like the humans that they are. All right, consider the experience that they're having, aka don't send them a dozen emails a day. That's stupid. Send them maybe 1, maybe 2. There's different. Maybe you don't send them 1 every day. Maybe it's 3. It all depends on your subscriber and what you're trying to accomplish. But the overall rule that doesn't change is don't treat them or look at them as if they're just your personal ATM where you send an email and get money from. Yes, it can operate that way, but not the best way to think about your email subscribers. And so that's tip number 1. All right, you guys getting value? Jeff Hernandez in the house. What's up, Jeff? Number 2, this is the second tip for using your email list to create better relationships, is to segment your email lists. Segment them. In time, you're going to develop lots of lists, multiple lists that you'll develop. And when you do, don't think that just because somebody opted into your list about, you know, getting Facebook Live tips, that they're also going to be interested in getting an email from you about your weight loss program or your fitness tips. Those are 2 different things. They didn't give you permission to email them that shit. They gave you permission to email them stuff related to Facebook Live tips, all right, or whatever it is. And so this is a big mistake that so many email marketers make. So keep your different lists separate and speak to them only about what they want to know. So what does that mean? Well, it means you got to know what they want, all right, and then only talk to them about that. Don't turn them off by sending them something that they don't want to know about. All right, so list segmenting is a very, very big thing to increase the relationship and actually get better results. All right, so tip number 3, this is the biggie. Never send an email without some sort of a call to action. All right, but the call to action doesn't always have to be click this link. All right, it can also be hit the reply button. There's a trend happening in email right now where email is becoming more social. And so emails, it's all about communication. All right, in the past, I've been in this over a decade. I set up my first email list literally over a decade ago. I still have that account. And it's email is all about communication. And in the past, it's shifted to be a platform where it's a broadcast mechanism to get a lot of information out to a lot of people fast. Okay, that's kind of how email marketing has evolved. But now what's happening is I'm starting to see a shift back. All right, I'm starting to see that it's shifting back into be more social again. All right, and so send emails that are designed to get people to respond and start a conversation with a human, as opposed to sending only emails that get somebody to click. All right, email them to get a response, not just a click. All right, so then somebody on your team, or maybe you, if you're a one-man show, maybe it's you that's doing the follow-up, but you can have a conversation with them and then have a much higher chance of them actually ascending into buying your products or buying the next product or whatever it is. All right, so your next product, service, opportunity, whatever it is that you're selling, getting them into a conversation first, then getting them to ascend, that is, in my opinion, that's the future of retail. All right, if you just look at the chatbot apps that are coming up all over the place, all right, you can see this in social. You can see that there's so much stuff that's moving into the chat automation, the chatbot apps. Those are conversations, all right? That's what makes them effective and powerful. And that's a big trend, all right? You'll see things start to shift back into a conversational type of marketing instead of just broadcast and push your message on people and hope they click and buy, all right? You're gonna have to introduce a conversation at some point. And so that's a big trend to pay attention to. Marketing is absolutely getting more conversational. There's currently more jobs. Think about this. There's more jobs right now that are being lost in the retail sector than in any other sector right now. All right, retail is losing more jobs than anything else. But I believe within the next 3, 5, maybe 10 years, you're going to see all of those people get rehired back into fundamentally working retail. It's just going to have a different game. It's going to be a different game. All right, they're going to be doing managing chat bots and managing chat app conversations and things like that, because that's the direction that we're going. That is the trend. Most people they just don't see this. And so if you can keep that in mind when you're sending your emails out, rather than this is just a place where I broadcast my stuff out to everybody, you'll have a lot better results. You'll find yourself in many more conversations. And you'll also, those conversations are what produce the better results. And so there you go. Those are the first 3 tips. I'm going to give you one more bonus tip here before I wrap up. The bonus tip is to add in videos to your emails. Videos increase the speed at which people know you, like you, and trust you. It just expedites that speed. It makes them know you, like you, and trust you faster than if you only sent text-based emails. So anytime you can layer in a video into your email, whether you put a little image of the video and they click it and go off to the video, anytime you can create a video, you increase the speed at which people buy. All right, now I'm going to give you some video tips here in just a moment. But before I do, these 3 tips that I just gave you, they will increase your relationships that you have with your list. They'll increase the amount of sales that you make if you follow them. All right, if you implement this, you'll make more sales because you'll be developing more relationships with more people. Simply put, what are you going to experience what if you don't implement this and you just keep doing things the old way that most people do? Well, nothing's going to change. Nothing will change. Less sales will be happening automatically. You're going to be putting in more work. And you run the risk of losing everything, all right, and having to start over from scratch. Because if you're not building an email list, then your Facebook page can go away overnight. Your YouTube channel can go away overnight. Your Twitter account can go away overnight. So if you're only building audiences and communicating with those audiences on those platforms and you're not putting them onto an email list, you run the risk of losing everything and having to start over completely from scratch. And so there you go. I hope you got some value from this. More importantly, I hope that perhaps it inspired you today to be a little bit better version of yourself than you were yesterday. Maybe you got some new email tips here that you can go and apply and implement and build relationships with more people and make more sales and get yourself into more conversations, all that fun stuff, all right? And so if you did get value from this, let me know by leaving a comment. If you know somebody that would also be benefited by this, feel free to share it with them. I would appreciate it. They would probably appreciate it. And I also mentioned earlier that I've got some video tips that I'll give you. I'm not going to do that here in this video. We're already at 21 minutes. And so I do have some video tips for you for making better videos, making more effective videos. And so if you'd like those tips, I have 10 of them. They're written out. There's a little 20-minute video that actually walks through them and breaks them all down for you. And so I've got 10 tips all about how to create more effective videos that actually get results. And so the focus is Facebook Lives, but these tips can absolutely be used in any pre-recorded videos as well. And so if you want these tips, just simply comment the word, leave a comment, and in your comment include the words video tips in all caps. And that'll let me know that you would like me to send you the tips, and either myself or somebody on my team will send them to you. You could also just reach out to me, send me a private message here on Facebook and say, hey, yo, send me the video tips. I want them. And I'll send them right over. No strings attached. They're free. And so if you want them, just ask. There you go. I hope you got some value here. Hopefully you did. Let me know in the comments if you did. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Talk to you soon. Bye.